it's not doing much. Seven fans still going to be way more vocal here in the audience, but MVP, they finally have something to cheer for. You would have to say.
Oh, they do. I mean, it's unfortunate that even if they are able to get a 4-0 today, it's not going to get them any closer to the playoffs, but it would still be a huge accomplishment for them going forward. It's a map that Fuse loves. He has gotten several boop kills on the back of this point on defense. It is going to be Tuba on the Genji to attack. Tracer comp, though, with the Moira, so they're looking to force this into the point and then sustain. Okay. I was going to say, it's a little bit surprising when they're running. They are going to run the Moira. It's a little bit surprising when they're running the Genji with the Moira. Normally see that with more slower push compositions, but it's going to be running that Moira, heading over here.
Mika still has, there we go, okay. So for a second there, he had swapped.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. Just scouting out the comp before they really get set up here.
A bit of a delay, it would seem, but now Tuba gonna just go ahead, piles his way straight in on top of the point, forces MVP to have to come in towards them. First tick getting ready to come through. We'll get the tag in there momentarily from Fuse. He takes a lot of damage from Tuba, but he also goes low. Deflection comes in, and he's gonna take it down. The first kill, claimed by OneFact. Gutting him out, builds up towards that full spawn, getting closer and closer, and a pretty high-value recall there to keep himself alive, and now Undyne's going to go down, but OneFact finds Revenge, so in exchange there on the Moiras. Revenge is the one with the ultimate ready to go. MVP looking to win this fight, denying away even a single tick here from the side of Seven. Evo going to commit to that Primal Rage, the self-destruct from Bianca, chunks him out, works him low, and he's going to die on the leap home. Seven held at bay.
Such a heavy commitment with the Primal Rage coming through. They did trade it for a self-destruct, but Evo, one of the fastest building Primal Rage players in Contenders Korea, but still very expensive what they just committed to there. Not going to be useful after the Dragon Blade comes through. They're not going to have that same sustainability. OneFact just killing it on the Tracer tonight.
A lot of damage there on Undyne, though. Chases him in right as that Coalescence comes through to shut him down. Pulse Bomb out, you know. Gonna get a little bit of damage there, and Tuba yet again will go down. He's got that Dragon Blade up. No one from Seven is here in onto the point. With Evo on 3 going down, they're gonna have to abandon this. So at least we're able to get the ultimates away from the supports. But Seven still are gonna be struggling when it comes down to building up any percentage here on A.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really weak time bank if we see one at all. Just OneFact really working well with these health packs. He's diving deep and then dashing back to the health pack that's hacked, the outside one there, the Mega there, instead of actually using his recall. So he has recalls available more often, and he's building up faster pulse bombs, and he's finding the sticks onto the Winston, he's finding the sticks onto the support line, then whatever is required. Yaki just totally harassing here, slowing down this push. Look at the angle here for Bianca to do so much damage. OneFact finding these squishies now, is looking for him.
Dive comes straight through. Tuba still holding onto the blade for now. Down barrier comes in. They'll jump away with that fade. Revenge keeps himself alive and away from OneFact. Back play here. Still up for Tuba. Kites his way around the back. Gets healed up. Comes back up. Has the dash away. However, because of that self-destruct, which finds Mika, but he slices his way to a kill there on Undyne. Diva comes over. He'll get the pop out onto the max. Isolating Bianca and taking him down, and Seven might have finally been able to turn this assault here into a victory on point A at least. They still haven't got the first tick, but with the kills coming through onto the members of MVP space, it's pretty much just a matter of time. Yaki knows that he's dead. He'll say goodbye. The rest of the team will crumble. A decent drain on the clock here for MVP. Very admirable holds coming through initially, but they will hand this over to Seven, but it's going to be just shy of 5 minutes left on the clock to try to go ahead and break into point B.
They saved the EMP as well, so very much unlikely to be a double cap here for Seven. They only have the tank ultimate to lead this charge. Support ultimates and the Dragon Blade had to be used. EMP going to shut this push down, force everybody back.
Yeah, that is just going to be a slaughter coming through. Don't get any of the ultimates out of the members of Seven.
And that's okay. They have a decent ultimate bank, as you say. It's not really wasting any there as they move forward. It's a worse time bank than they would have liked to have and that we normally see on Hanamura in Korea, but still, very many tools here. The Tuba's just going to be looking to build a Dragon Blade right now. That's his whole goal. That's his whole purpose. Can totally open up a point to allow either a full Dragon Blade build or a capture if he gets a pull.
Oh, OneFact moves that in. Doesn't find any stick or kills, though. Would have been an absolute massive occur had he been able to get that one in. Coalescence is coming down. Fuse is going to die with the sound barrier up. We'll have the faster run back, though. They managed to get Tuba and Revenge, so it seems like Seven is still going to be held at bay. Lose that much more time here on the clock.
But look at what Tuba was able to accomplish. Builds up 92% off that Dragon Blade. They know that there's not going to be an EMP available, so what they can do with this next push, if they can get into position, is execute the supports. Undyne also not having the Coalescence as much protection for himself, not really something you can use to save yourself in most fights, but Fuse has the sound barrier. If he gets killed before he can really utilize it or is forced to use it before the fight starts, it's going to be a huge opening here. Look at Tuba's positioning. Looking for Yaki first. Pulls the blade.
Jumps up there. Yaki's going to go down the sound barrier. Not able to catch him, but it was a bit too late anyway. Fuse is dead. Bianca finding two. Or Bianca going down there as Freeze finds two. And MVP Space are just getting wiped under the rug. They try to get back in. Oberon with the Primal Rage just can't sustain long enough. He'll get picked off. Pulse Bomb here ready from Yuno. Finds the stick. Will knock Bianca out of that mech yet again, I do believe. Yep, manages to find it. And that is just going to be the finish. 2:46 on the clock. Not bad here from Seven, who have been struggling in this matchup.
Really cool blade by Tuba. Sees that the Translocators used to get him up onto the high ground, so he has no realistic escape. Talking, of course, about Yaki, so he gets that opening pick. Forces Fuse to use the barrier. Fuse is also running away from the Dragon Blade up on that high ground, which means he can't get away from the self-destruct. So good communication there from Tuba to Free to say, if you self-destruct mid-air, you are going to get this kill at least, the kill onto Fuse. And with already the opening kill onto the Sombra, again, they were pretty sure they didn't have an EMP because one was used so recently, but when Sombra's also killed, you know that you're going to be able to get that remake after the self-destruct. You're not worried about that. The Sombra is dead, can't hack you. Fuse has already used his sound barrier, so really good coordination here by Seven to flip this point with that built Dragon Blade. It only took them one eco push to get it. They made it valuable. No hesitation there by Tuba. Very well played, but MVP Space certainly could still win this map. It's a decent push on point A. Let's see what they want to do in terms of hero pools, because we saw a lot of Yaki, Genji. We saw Tidala try to run the Genji on this point throughout this season. Shut down by Climax, of course, most famously. Tidala was playing that Genji. We're probably going to see pretty mirrored compositions, though. The Sombra, of course, better for attack than defense. Tuba still sticking with the Genji. As I was alluding to. Fuse is not going to be playing far, spoiler alert. Well, I guess anything is possible, but well, Tuba's trying to carve his Crush's initials in this, but unfortunately it's not working. He's just going to have to tell her he couldn't make it happen.
Sorry, Mercy. We all know that. That's the big love story.
Oh,
Genji,
definitely.
Mercy, I ship it, but here we go. One fact's going to open up here with the Widowmaker. They are doing this.
Okay, well, this is actually pretty weird. This has worked against Reinhardt compositions in the past, but very difficult to use against Dive.
Long gone are the days of Reinhardt on Hanamura.
So what they're trying to do is use the bar to push everyone into line of sight here, but no one's taking the bait, really.
He's going to go low. Can't get the kill, though, and Oberon going to get top back up. Yako takes a little bit of damage, but hasn't been building up very rapidly for that barrage yet. He is isolated alone on the left-hand side of the map at the moment.
As it turns out, this is the response to both the Pharah and the Widow is the same. Get out of line of sight, get in the room.
Well, Mika jumping straight across the front lines there. Will get taken out now. Tuba will go down as well. Seven starting to crumble under the pressure of this composition because they're just not in position. It's honestly not even MVP Space taking the fight to them. It's Seven just laying down saying, all right, I guess we're dead, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, one of the second times we've seen Seven tonight just show a lack of patience against these types of compositions. The first time was when they dove in onto One Fact Soldier composition there on Hollywood. Patience is important when you're dealing with a slow push. I suppose that you could argue they were afraid that if they waited any longer that Bianca and Oprah would get onto the point. It'd be too difficult to retake it there, but I don't think that's true against the Pharah composition. Still, impatient, toss them the point. Much better time bank here for MVP Space to start from point B.
All's ready here for Yuno. As all of MVP Space gets ready to gather up here onto the right-hand side, move up to the high ground. We'll see if he can get the pulse in, throws it down, but big old whip doesn't find much. Will go low, drops all the way down to the low ground. As that recall comes through from keeping himself, or from Yaki rather, keeping himself alive. Oberon finds two, and Revenge both taking out. Tuba comes back up, nearly has the Dragon Blade with the Transcendence there to keep everybody topped up. And he's just gonna have to kite his way back and tries to stay alive. It's that mini pack, walls his way back up, but the chase is real, and he's gonna crumble under the pressure. MVP Space looking to break open this point. Evo dangerously low with that Primal Rage, tries to rejoin, has Revenge here to top him back up with the Transcendence, but the first tick has already been gained by MVP Space, and they still have 3 ultimates in the war chest.
Yeah, they are going to have to get back onto this point, though. The Blade's going to go and find the Zenyatta.
Comes down, he's looking for it, but he just can't get the kill. Primal Rage comes through, he's going to be off the map. Oberon will kill him. And he'll also kill himself. Not quite the Miro play that we would have expected thinking back to Achilios.
This might be it, though, either way.
They are looking for it. Evo here, just getting body blocked by a Tracer of all things. Will be able to tag in, but the Discord RBC goes down. The wall comes through. Revenge desperately trying to keep them in this one, trying to drain that clock down a bit further. Using the ice block, Bianca's knocked out, and Undyne will go down. Tuba finally starting to turn things on a bit here with the Genji, comes up with a double kill, and MVP Space will have to go ahead and regroup.
MVP Space definitely not opening up the point like they should have after getting those first few kills. Oberon's death does help Seven get the Mei out, get that ice block up, buy a lot of time. They have obviously the longer run back to point B. We're going to see OneFact make the switch to the Soldier. We've seen from them so many times on Hanamura, where they try to build up the attack visor, then burst the Diva, then he gets on the high ground, it does a lot of damage. Flanks were a problem last time they ran this composition though, shut down against the Foxes. Fedora coming in and getting those kills.
Yaki his way in. Transcendence is going to be burned out here by Undyne, but it's already 2 kills over the way of Seven as gets ready to come back in. Evo goes down as well. MVP Space are going to start pushing back in. They already had the first 2 ticks taken. Self-destruct comes in. Doesn't find a pick, but Free will be able to make it back into the mech. No capitalization fast enough there from MVP Space to deny that one away. Pulse bomb out. Doesn't find anything there. Revenge stays alive here for the moment. OneFact getting jumped on, firing away straight into the base of Evo, trying to take him down. Hasn't been able to find it yet. Now Tuba's coming in from behind with the Dragon Blade. Slice one, finds OneFact, looking for a bit more, but just can't finish him off with the pulse bomb there. From will do the trick. 3:40 left on the clock. MVP Space have been held at bay, and we might be looking at closer to a tie now rather than a domination on this finish.
Good blade there by Tuba to actually find OneFact, hitting that extra damage there with the dash to make sure that he gets the kill there and that OneFact can't heal through it. So second slash kills him there. OneFact in really good position to do a lot of damage after the tanks were down, so he was killed. And again, the faster respawns come through. This is not going to very likely be the push that works for MVP Space. Revenge getting a massive bio grenade in there.
Well, that's the dash down there from Tuba. Does get rid of Yaki. So MVP Space is going to have to wait a little bit longer. They're going to finish this with a lower time bank. And then it's going to come down to another admirable defense. They did look good in that regard, whereas Seven crumbled. So that means for the OT rounds, this could be good for them in finding that pick there onto Revenge.
This could be an opportunity to actually get up through this choke point now, or at least take the angle to the bottom. So they don't have to worry about that bio grenade. OneFact's on the high ground.
Evo dropping down, and to stay alive, and Mika's going to go ahead and use that Transcendence. OneFact, attack visor ready to go. Starts firing away, and Free can't get up into his face there with a defense matrix to deny that. Those hits away. Drop down, looks for the finish there as Tuba dashes through. Nano boost in onto him just to try to get the Dragon Blade ready to go, but he's still 20% off.
Really good play there.
Ticking up, but they haven't gotten much yet. Mika, Evo both go down.
Really good play by the tanks to really neutralize most of that attack visor. Oh, he bumps his head here over it.
Barely misses that pulse bomb. Almost finds it. And now MVP are in onto the point. 1/2 a second left here on this. Seven cannot leave or else they lose this one. And that's going to be so many members dead here, though. Mika comes back in, has the Mei ready to go, gets into the ice block in the last second, will heal up just a little bit, but he is completely and utterly surrounded. It is just going to be a stomp. They finally get it. 1:51 left on the clock, so finishing like 55 seconds slower.
Yep. That pulse killing Oberon was a huge factor there. Had he gone down, they would have had much less sustain to actually force this for the completion. Even with the 2 ticks, very difficult to win that exchange. But I had to really be impressed with the play that we saw coming out from Free, as well as Evo there, to make sure that there was no way for OneFact to get massive kills there with his Dragon Blade, even though he pulled it, or sorry, not Dragon Blade, Tech Visor, even though he pulled it out on the high ground there when Free was dashing away. So as you said, Free could not actually go back up on the high ground to contest him. Evo did, went down, then barriered himself, wasted a lot of the shots there of OneFact, and then Free was on the low ground, stopping most of that damage from coming through. So really got to highlight these plays, even though the defense was not there, was not the complete hold there on point B. A lot of really nice ways to deal with this soldier that we see from MVP Space on attack so often that it's definitely something that you're preparing against, you're practicing against when you know you're going to hit MVP Space in the round robin. You're going to have to deal with that soldier. They dealt with it fairly well, just like they did a little bit better on Hollywood, but in this case just really delaying the effectiveness.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it is what I thought was going to be the mantra here for MVP Space, but they will be changing things up. Likely expecting Seven to be adapting for that Widow Pharah push. Again, they got that push because Seven took the fight to MVP Space and just died. They fell over and died. I don't think they're going to be looking to do that again here. So MVP likely going to have to fight harder to actually get this cap here onto A to build up any percentage on this point with the minute and a half that they have remaining. Yaki trying to spam his way up to an EMP, but so far is not getting many hits in.
Yep, Yaki going to try to slide into the back here. Find anyone he can, looking for the supports, trying to look for opening picks. He's building an EMP, but slowly.
Yeah, gets the hack there onto Tuba, who is much closer to his ultimate than this Sombra is so far. You know as well with the pulse bomb. Could just go ahead and shut this entire push if he can get a good one, but OneFact's picking up pulse bombs. He takes down two. Undyne, he finds Mika. He finds Free, pumps him out of the mech, takes him down. The team life gonna be there. MVP Space suddenly just explode forth yet again.
OneFact will be able to get this cap. He has really picked it up tonight. He is playing well on the Tracer. He is making the right hero swaps. He is finding the flanks. The OneFact Yaki combo with Sombra Tracer is I think the reason why Tyler has not been subbed in today. It's just so strong right now. Why play the Genji when you can play comfort picks with this level of coordination? MVP Space, a lot of their fans probably wishing they were running this since week one.
I mean, he's picking it up, but it's Seven that dropped it in the first place. OneFact will get taken down, but Seven just have not been looking like themselves here so far in this series. MVP Space is going to go ahead and abandon this push for now. They have one more opportunity to get in to try to double down and get the cap onto B.
Just MVP Space is looking more coordinated than they ever have before. Seven is making some mechanical mistakes. We're seeing overcommitments, impatience. And when you add all these things together, we're the closest we've ever been to MVP Space taking a series in Contenders Korea Season 1. Yaki's got the EMP to open up the point here. Does leave both angles open, could translocate his way back up to the top, or could just approach by ground. Again, Seven being very aggressive. You need to be careful against an EMP with this.
Has the Dragon Blade ready to go. We'll see if they can shut him down. The EMP does come in. He's just got to sit up top of the self-destruct. Manages to find Evo. Sound barrier now coming down. Catches the rest of the squad. Chuba getting jumped on. Takes a bunch of damage. Goes forward. Trying to look for that Moira. Finds Undyne. Takes him out the sound barrier. Doing up the rest of this damage as Fuse tries to stay alive, but it's futile. Mika manages to finish him off. You know, will be traded back. Hack in here on the Tuba as Yaki tries to take him down, but with MVP, with so few members left alive, I don't think they're going to be able to get anything here on the B. OG takes away, and that is going to be it, but they managed to get the cap onto A. It's 246. We already saw how much Seven struggled to get that completion the first time out. If MVP can replicate their defense, that Seven will be losing this series. MVP will be winning their first one of the tournament, even though they are locked out of playoffs.
Yeah, you are hitting it on the money. Impatience has been a big issue here for Seven. I want to bring attention back to that point B defense. They were able to, luckily because Tuba was patient and his Dragon Blade did so much to defend there, but they dove in right when the EMP was clearly going to come out. I get the impression that given that not only they are playing impatient, a little bit uncoordinated today, but Seven did not think MVP Space would be a valiant opponent tonight. They did not come into this series thinking, this is what we need to prepare for. They're probably thinking about their match for next week more than they're thinking about this one. And it shows. They're impatient in their dives into EMPs. They're expecting MVP Space to have weak flanks with OneFact, who's actually having fantastic ones. And we're going to see looks like an old favorite here. Now, normally, it's Undyne who runs the Torbjorn, but it's confused today.
I do not know how I feel about this one.
Well, it's going to be very effective against this tank line if they can protect and split into different sides here, both the Torbjorn and the Soldier 76. We've seen MVP Space buy so much time on Horizon Lunar Colony with this. We've seen it on Numbani as well as Hollywood. It's one of their best defensive setups. Very rare on Assault, but it can work.
They're going to go low. Turret.
Onto the turret now.
Build up a little bit, but it's only 9% so far for Fuse. So they need to be able to repel this push, otherwise this Torbjorn composition is not going to be working out. As well as Undyne staying safe. Probably the biggest thing for them is keeping that Ana alive. Seven now pushing down onto the low ground, looking to pop Bianca out of the mech, will be able to do so. And he's not going to last much longer. The turret's dead yet again, and Fuse is only at 26%. I think MVP probably regretting this just a little bit here. As Oberon goes low, rockets come through, they burn down though, Instant, you know, the only one that will get traded back. And now with Undyne falling, that should just be the cap here for Seven. We're gonna have about 2.5 minutes perhaps here on the clock.
Well, the turret being at the opposite side of the Soldier is normally what you want to do. That's what we see them do on Numbani, what we saw them do on Horizon, so that both can't be killed at the same time and you have damage coming from range either way. The problem with the placement for the turret was that it allowed Seven to approach where One Fact couldn't do any damage. He didn't have any sightlines onto the team as they came up and demolished the turret, so he was completely worthless there. They easily get the push. Now have an insane time bank to grab a tick here.
Yeah, 2 minutes just to get that 33%. You know, gonna get hacked out. They jump in on him. A couple more damage there. We'll be able to finish him off. Soundberry in the meantime comes down. No run. Will be finished off as Tuba. Gets that Dragon Blade ready to go. Could be the X Factor to break open this point, but you can see in Seven, they realize we have some time. Revenge is dead. Let's play this one out patiently. Regroup and get ready to go in. Try to take this all in one fell swoop. They have so many ultimates just to dump in to try to get this win.
Yeah. Going to be the big one is the Dragon Blade, of course. Fuse switching just recently to the Zenyatta, very far away from a Transcend. So they don't have any support ultimates to Eliza. Seven knows that. Seven knows that this blade will find damage if he doesn't get cut down or slept here. So they're going to look to get him into position to make sure he can slash it supports. And that's what he's going for.
Gets Undyne. Undyne goes down before he can even use the nano boost. Now Bianca out of the mech. Will go ahead, uses the self-destruct, but can't get back in because Tuba has taken her down. No pilot, Diva ready to go. Tuba goes low, 9 HP, gets healed back up, doesn't fall. Revenge taken down by Oberon there with that Primal Rage, but they go off the point. He doesn't make it back in time. And Seven will be able to win. Hanamura keeping their hopes of a reverse sweep alive. And I have to condemn the decision from MVP to run the Torbjorn.
I do not, actually. I think it was a good idea, but the placement of the turret was just not the way that it needed to be placed. If you place it to the left side, you do kind of an opposite setup. It means that at least One Fact on the Soldier can do damage to the ones attacking the turret. You place it back far enough and leave that open, you have crossfire on both sides. But the way they did it, I will condemn absolutely, because it meant that to break the turret, they were indoors, which meant that One Fact could not do any damage. It wasn't on the same side as the turret either. But we've seen them use the turret to great success against way stronger teams than them, including Seven now is another team that tried to use it against, but it just didn't work because they didn't set it up correctly. Seven had great coordinated dive. I will agree with you, it's a huge risk, you know, when you run this turret, you're basically all-inning, and you know that if they get any tick on point B, you're gonna lose it, so taking maybe a safer defensive approach might have been the better choice. I don't condemn them for it though, because it's been so successful for them all season long. Not with Fuse on the Torbjorn though, but with Undyne on it, so I thought that was also a little bit weird. But yeah, it was really good stuff out of Tuba. Both the blades to deny that final push there from MVP Space on their overtime attack, and then the blades to kill Ana there at the end. Really good execution. Tuba looking really a lot like Sparkle tonight in terms of what he could do with these blades and the damage he could put out.
If you or your friend is thinking about running Torbjorn on OT defense, you can call 1-800-PLEASE-NO to seek some serious help, because it's a plague, it's a problem, and we need to stand together to stop it. I don't think it was good. I thought that it was way too risky. They ran a perfectly good defense the first time out. They held Seven almost the whole way. It was looking like maybe a full hold. Then they try to go for the cheese, and that's when everything crumbles apart there for them. They were that win away from taking this series to getting their first series win in Contenders. But
Bastion, oh my god, I've been waiting for this one.
They don't pull it off. I don't know how you do this one.
Well, you know, I think that, yeah, okay, you can do the little scratchy head thing, the repairy, slash, like, I'm a little bit itchy head even though I'm a robot.
She just kind of like poked herself in the head. Maybe she was trying to be the bird when he's like pecking at Bastion. I forget his name. Well, I know the bird has a name, but I don't.
The name too.
I don't recall.
I forget the thing that started with a G, but I can't remember.
It's like
Ganymede?
Ganymede? Yeah, it's Ganymede.
Okay.
Oh, he's
no, that's Street Fighter.
No, he's doing the Bastion, the boxing emote when he's got the boxing gloves on.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, that's a classic.
I use the
he's
classic.
got that one ready to go.
I use the normal one.
Probable Dad, do you have anything for us?
Probable Dad.
That's his name now.
Probable Dad.
I don't want to.
We don't know with certainty.
I don't want to fully assume that he is the father of one of these players, but it probably is. So he is now named Probable Dad. That's his English name.
Yeah. That's his English name. We'll never know his Korean name.
Oh, dear.
Well, looks like the Korean commentators are either confirming
I think they're trying to goad him into it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe this guy can do something, but trying to... Okay, he's got the bird on his finger.
Oh, that's...
And then he shot it.
Well, it was good until he shot the bird. That was a little bit too much for me. I thought it was good otherwise. They're very creative.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, Ganymede.
Wow.
I'm guessing that was...
I think Bastion jump roping?
Yeah, does Bastion do jump rope? I don't play Bastion, so I don't know his emotes other than the boxing one.
You and I have, like, a lot of self-respect and, like, you know, we don't like to throw games and, you know, like to generally try hard in our matches that we play. So
unless it's Junkertown, I can forgive it if it's Junkertown. But if you're that guy who after we like win, we get like a massive push, you know, with like 3 minutes remaining, or we like full hold them, and then you pick Bastion attack on Temple of Anubis, then I'm just gonna be mad at you.
Yeah. I'm okay with the Bastion emotes though. I'll give them that. We're going to Dorado for our 4th map. It's the map pick of MVP Space. They were able to only win in their series against Fox's Gibraltar, which was also their map pick, but it was with more focus on the Widow. And we've already seen tonight we've moved away from that type of play from them. They're running the, for the most part, Tracer Sombra with one fact on the Tracer, Yaki on the Sombra, which has been better than a lot of their other setups. And had Bazzi subbed back in, I would have thought maybe you would want to play towards a very Widow map like a Junkertown or the Gibraltar pick that they picked against the Foxes, because their counterplay of Bazzi tonight has been great, but Bazzi will not be subbed back in tonight, and so as a result, this map choice makes a lot of sense. Let's see if they can pull it off, Achilios here.
I mean,
the series hangs in the balance. They
might just get ripped apart when it comes down to the Widowmaker here from one fact, because it has been on point. Seven fans praying for that reverse sweep, and also probably praying that Mika is running back to the bank to swap out, which is exactly what I think he's doing. He's just messing around.
He's messing around. He's like, Torbjorn, what a joke. Nice try, guys.
You know, taunting MVP, like, oh, look at this pick. Isn't it good?
Bazzi fan there with the Widow, but no Bazzi in this series. It's going to be one fact instead. Don't think he'll be sticking with this one for very long. Just we'll try to do opening snipes here, and then we'll be switching off. It is going to be Yaki running the actually, they are going to stick with this. We saw this used earlier on Hanamura. We've also seen this used in the Soul Cup by Fleta on Lunatic High when he first joined the team before moving to Soul Dynasty. Worked to great success on this map specifically.
Well, Revenge is dead, so that's going pretty well already. Waiting to see if one fact can have the pop-up performance yet again, but for now, you can see that all of 7 has had to shift back over here into the marketplace, trying to avoid these lines of sight away from one fact.
Well, one fact, very successful in terms of pressure right now as Yaki's finding good angles here while one fact threatens the other side. It's very difficult to deal with either the Aura or the Widowmaker right now.
Well, Bubble going to be denying a lot of damage away from the Widow here at the moment. It's a nice little hit there onto Yuno, but he has the recall to take himself out to safety. And misses that shot on Revenge, finally gets it actually on the follow-up. Thought maybe that Moira was going to be getting away with her life. But it seems like the answer is going to be no. Seven struggling to stay forward here alongside this payload, and one fact finds the headshot there onto that slippery tracer, takes her down. That's going to be a very fast completion here onto a pretty much unhindered push.
Yeah, you have to approach the Widow very closely when you have long-range hit scan, which Seven does not, and Vara is going to be doing a lot of body shot rocket damage while you try to do so. So threatening from two different angles makes it very difficult to defend. And because Seven did not put Bazzi, their only long-range hit scan player, back off the bench, he's sitting on the bench wishing he could pull out his own Widow to try to defend this, wishing he could pull out his McCree. He's played on this map several times, but with the lineup of Seven, they struggle. The same way we've seen teams struggle against Doomfist with no long-range hit scan. Very annoying.
Look, I already talked about this one earlier on. When you see the Widow, when she's being oppressive, the only thing you should be thinking about is harass. And so far, one fact is not getting attacked in the back line. He has just been free to sit there and poke people down. Time and time again, barrage out here from Yaki, finds Evo, they get rid of free, he will go down.
This is just a free push right now.
But, I mean, that's about it. That's the only reprieve they get is that Yaki's gone. They still have to be concerned about one fact.
Yeah, they have to regroup as well. Ultimate advantage to MVP Space as well. The EMP can stop the Pharah from flying, but otherwise MVP Space is not really concerned about EMP with this competition. It's not a comp that's based on ultimates or abilities, realistically even. Oberon just gonna like wait for this, if he can, avoid the EMP and then Primal Rage to finish the push. That's the idea.
Finally getting some space to work with here, but as I say that, that's going to be Undyne brought back in. He's got the Transcendence ready to go. Use the Valkyrie. Tuba falls to the side of that Primal Rage, and you see, you know, he can't even poke his head forward here. He just gets taken down immediately.
One fact, really stepping it up tonight. Seven is really kicking themselves for not putting Bazzi in.
Self-destruct up into the air. Free going to be denied the remake as one fact takes him down. And
Huge
we are
push.
making record time here for MVP Space of all teams to get this big of a push.
No one could have expected
Dorado.
this result. No one would have expected this level of dominance here.
If you just wanted to take like a safe bet, if you're doing one of those esports betting sites, whatever, I don't condone it, but I also don't, you know, say that you're a bad person. I'm sure you put your money on Seven. If you bet on MVP Space, you are cashing out tonight because you would have gotten some damn good odds.
Oh, certainly not the favorites by anyone's standards here in Korea, but still, with how they're playing right now, if I could have known, I would have named them favorites. They're just playing better coordinated plays. They know there's no long-range hit scan with Bazzi not subbed in. They're keeping the Pharah going towards point C on this map. Very rare to see in Korea.
Oh man, another barrage out here from Yaki. He'll go ahead, he'll get two.
Tracks the translocator, knows where he's gonna land, and then blows him up.
Fuse will die, that's about it. The payload's still gonna be moving forward. Yuno can't stop this one by himself, and he'll actually just die in the back because he doesn't have a recall.
This is going to be perhaps a 3 minutes plus time bank on Dorado, where we actually very rarely see pushes finish.
This is unprecedented right now from MVP. Oh, he gets away with 1 health. Are you kidding? One fact.
Gets out.
The great escape.
Calculated.
And now he's going to come back and shoot someone in the base.
All right, well, Yaki just threatening here in the sky. No long-range hits can. He's untouched. No one can hurt him. No one can touch him. In order to get close enough for an EMP, they're going to put themselves in line of sight of one Fact's Widow, who has used this ultimate.
Now, speaking of which, it's going to be Revenge going down too, but can't really stick around. Sound Barrier will come in to give them some room to breathe, but even then, they're just getting choked out of this game. Seven themselves are choking in their play. MVP Space looking to outclass what has been one of the best, one of the most consistent teams that we have here in Korea. Yaki finds the kill on the two, but dodges out from that self-destruct. It's not going to be a 3+ minute push, but it's still going to be a damn strong one here for MVP because they keep wrecking phase 7. Just cannot match the pressure.
Oh man, this is such good play here. Such intelligent play. Tuba switches to the Widow. That's not a normal thing. That's never happened before, but he's so desperate. They're being gate-kept by a Pharah, a point C of Dorado. Unheard of. No Bazzi sub in. MVP Space picks the comp to counter that, and they are just unstoppable here.
Another barrage coming through. They jump up, trying to deny that good bubble out from Evo, but still pays for that one with his life as he gets booped in it there by Bianca. One back still, just firing away, looking for the Lucio. Sees that he'll go down. The payload should be getting ready to move up here even further. Revenge pops the coalescence, but they pop his head right off as Yaki hits him with the rocket. 2:11 on the clock, MVP space. They picked Dorado, and my God, did it look good.
Did not expect to see this type of play from One Fact, who moved away from the Widow, with the exception of Hollywood, even on Hollywood. Moved away from it to try to look for picks onto Bazzi's Widow rather than trying to out-Widow him. Intelligent play by MVP Space. And because of this, I feel like what we saw from Seven was they said, okay, we're going to Dorado, I'm not going to sub Bazzi in. I'm not going to have a Widow battle here. Don't need to have that. They're probably just going to play a more standard dive like they did on Hanamura, maybe some soldier play on the defense, but One Fact has had a weak Widowmaker, and he hasn't used it much tonight, but tonight he improved his accuracy. They ran the Widowmaker despite expectations, and because there's no anti-Widow player on the other side, they can't deal with him, and they don't have a player that could deal with Farah either, so Widowmaker controlling the high ground, controlling line of sight, while Farah is harassing anyone who tries to get close. Summer was unable to hack, I think, even one time Yaki's Farah, and that EMP there to try to defend point C didn't connect with either the Farah or the Mercy. And if that Farah is given enough space to work with and is untouched, except for just poke from the Diva and long-range Sombra left clicks, the Mercy will always out-heal that, will always be building the Valkyrie, and this is just unexpected. And I think that Seven did not assess MVP Space correctly with this map choice. And to be honest though, I would not have expected this either, so I can't blame them, but what a mind game here from MVP Space. One Fact is again on the Widow.
It feels like Seven sent some doppelgangers to the tournament here today, rather than actually playing themselves.
I mean, we definitely had Bazzi underperforming. Was not subbed in for good reason. And Yuno was untested, so that's certainly not a Bazzi clone there, but MVP Space has really stepped up their mental game here and their strategy, and it's working well.
I mean, one of the other players that has also been like wildly inconsistent here is Evo. Not going to escape there with his life. Yaki able to take him down on one finds Yuno. Evo has been overextending. He has not been testing his limits well. He's been exceeding his limits. He's been going down, he's been getting picked off, he's been burning Primal Rages when he doesn't need to.
Yeah, some excessive Primal Rages to be sure. One Fact here, just going to dash away when the when the leap comes through. But Yaki again, untouched. No one is able to damage him. They don't have a soldier player, they don't have a Widow player. They only have Genji Tracer, and Farah just is not concerned about that.
That slip-up you almost had is actually something that I would love to see. If somebody goes to Owl and they make one of those signs, I want to see Widowmaker with Primal Rage. That's one of the things I would see Blizzard put together, because that would be damn good. Just like MVP Space is damn good on this event so far.
Yeah, I mean, One Fact is just completely shutting down right now anyone from coming in to get close to Yaki. Yaki's doing massive damage, soon to have that barrage. Seven's Dragon Blade, are we going to see Tuba fly through the sky and kill the Far Mercy? He's going to be doing it while that's trying to avoid him, and while Widow's coming against Free, the Diva player. By the way, the Diva player is switching to the Widow because they don't have a Widow player on this roster to try to counter this. Desperation here on the side of Seven, being duped by the map pick of MVP Space. Did not expect this type of strategy, and they are being punished. Let's see if Free can land some shots here.
He's got to do something. He's got to do it fast. 2 minutes left on the clock here. One Fact looking for Yuno. Doesn't find that hit. But he goes in with the Dragon Blade, but he gets taken down. Manages to find Undyne. The Bio Grenade causes him to kite back, and Yaki can just pick him up along with the rest of the team here. Seven cannot find a leg to stand on. He's constantly getting swept down from beneath them.
I mean, we've seen players like Who Are You, Haksal in the past, even Guido from time to time in Korea kill Far Mercy with Dragon Blades, but when there's a Widow on the other side as well, just really gonna struggle to get that consistent damage. And I mean, that was their only chance to kill us, realistically. They don't have it anymore. They need to somehow dive onto the Widow, get that kill, and then just try to win the ground battle, ignore the Farah, but they're just so far unsuccessful because One Fact is playing a better Widow than he ever has tonight.
I mean, right now, Tuba Lull is way more appropriate than Arhan Lull ever was, I will say. Like, it has not been very good. They will go ahead and use a Primal Rage just to try to get One Fact. They'll jump to the side. They'll be alive here for the moment, but finally this gives Seven some room to breathe. Revenge gonna go low. Will get taken down by Oberon, but Fuse is going to fall. And Oberon will get taken out here by Mika, so it seems like Seven will finally be able to get this completion.
They finally win the ground battle, kill the tanks.
Evo does die. He was trying to kill one back that entire time, and he finally gets taken out.
Well, they will get this push through. They will control the ground. And Free is going to be part of this with his Widow. It's not a fantastic Widow by any means. In fact, not a Widow main
yeah, but he's
at
on
all.
fire right now, Wolf.
Okay, well, fair enough. But he was part of the reason why they were able to make this happen, because they did make this switch. They're running D.Va-less right now, which means that Yaki could do even more damage with the Pharah. He switches, though, to the Tracer, which could be even more of an issue when you're not running a D.Va, but MVP Space having this spread out right now. They know they've got a decent timing. There's no reason to play forward here.
Oh, one factor almost finding that headshot there on a Pokes out just a bit too much. Jump over here onto the side, trying to avoid Tuba, who does have another Dragon Blade ready to go. Sure, he wants it to work out a little bit better than it has so far.
Well, it's going to be easier. No Pharah. Ooh, Oberon, see you later.
Okay, yeah. Finds that hit. Dragon Blade comes through. Bio grenade connects the air onto Tuba, and yet again, he's going to be swinging in air, and now he's going to go down. Bianca finds the pick. One fact has been taken down. Just alleviate a slight little bit of pressure here for the side of Seven, but now losing out onto Revenge after he uses the nano boost means that, well, they're going to be held at bay with just 2 minutes left on the clock, and they have to go all the way to point C.
Tuba underperforming tonight, Bazzi underperforming.
The whole squad.
Not having
everybody.
Not having the proper composition to deal with the Pharah earlier on, burning through so much of that time bank. Tuba had some fantastic blades on Hanamura, let's be real, but this was not it. The last blade was not successful. Obviously, compositionally, that was a problem. MVP Space feels like they've got control enough to even step forward to the halfway mark here around this corner, gain vision of the approach. Need to be careful not to be picked. They have a huge ult lead right now. Here's the Nano.
So Nano going to be thrown there onto Oberon. Still has the primal range, and should he go low, you see a little bit of focus coming through from the members of Seven, trying to take him down as Yaki pokes in from the backside. Goes low, has that health pack and the pulse bomb ready to go. Speaking of pulse, will come through, and Bianca's going to get knocked out. Yaki throws in his own, but doesn't find anything. Fuse has been taken out, so good critical picks coming through here for Seven as they try to get some payload moving yet again. But dashing around from the back, he's going to be spamming away, getting those left clicks here in onto Oberon, who will not use the primal rage. Knows that he wants it to stop this push, because there's less than a minute left here on the clock.
So it's time for the tricks and the mind games to end. One fact's going to switch to the Sombra here. No more Widow, no more Pharah. It's just going to be standard defense here. Coming out of the point for one more last minute contest with Oberon having that primal rage. Tuba, let's see if this blade can find a support. He's going to hold it for now.
He's going to go low, dashes to the side, they're still chasing in. 46 HP, they find him. Messes up that wall ride, and the Rockets will just go ahead and cut him down. That's going to cost him dearly. If he dies without getting kills with this Dragon Blade, Seven are probably done. MVP Space will have won their first series.
And they can't try to build up for support ultimates either. They don't have a primal rage to buy enough time to make this happen. They don't have one support ultimate to build the other. They're not going to have either of them realistically when this push comes through. So Tuba's going to have to do this support ultimate-less with the blade. Nano coming out early. They need to actually react quickly here.
Nano boost here in onto Oberon. Yaki will go down first, and now Bianca's knocked out of the mech. Tuba, that gives him a bit of space. He goes a bit low. Bio grenade takes down Revenge. Sleep dart takes out Tuba, but can they kill him? There's going to be the one shot there from the Ana to try to work him down, but it's not enough. Payload has been moved in, but it's 1:20 here for Seven.
Still a huge win for Seven, or sorry, for MVP Space, as you say, because of the low time bank here. Saving grace is those two support elements they didn't have I was talking about. They're about to have them with the blade that wasn't required to push this through. This is a bad situation, even if that's what gets them because they're to the finish, because they have such a weak time bank, but they might have just lost the map had they had to use those. So very good efficient push here from Seven. Looking for the pick on the Undyne already is the Genji, but 2 kills here means it's time to reconsider.
Pulse is ready, but Yaki doesn't even need to use it. They just burn straight through Evo. The hot knife through butter. Now they're looking for Mika. Just barely can make it over to that mega pack.
Desyncs here. they have the EMP as well to deny the support ultimates. So watch OneFact in this next fight, because support ultimates are going to be absolutely required. They're going to have to be staggered with the blade here. It's a big 6 push from 7, but that can all be shut down by 1 EMP from OneFact. Looking for the supports, especially here on the back line. Finds him.
Bit of a confusing sentence there, but pulse bomb out. Oberon forced to use the primal rage, and Yaki finds free, but kills himself in the process. Self-destruct there from Bianca to bring himself back in. Won't be able to do so. He's going to be the one looking to stop the mech. While they wait for Oberon to get topped up. EMP in, Mika and Revenge both go down the hack onto the primal raging Winston. Means that Epo is just a sitting duck. A very large one, a very angry duck, but he can't make it back in time because of that crucial hack. And MVP Space, they take Dorado and they take their first series of this tournament, maybe the only one that they get, because we're down to the wire. There's only 1 more week left before playoffs, and MVP will not be there.
They will not be there, but they are able to take this last win, and they do it with coordinated fashion. The lack of coordination we saw from them all season long, I feel tonight they were able to bring it together, showing more flexibility on OneFact, not always running the Widow, moving over to long-range hit scan, having his flexibility even to run the Reaper on attack there on control. Very much a fantastic sub into the Widow and the Pharah there. Knowing, I misspoke that sense, knowing that 7 was not running Bazzi, they didn't sub him, so that was a mistake. MVP Space punishes that, knowing that there's no way to deal with the Pharah, no way to deal with the Mercy, the Widowmaker. Total control of Dorado for MVP Space, by far the most dominant map here in this series. Salt, been a little bit of an Achilles heel for this team. They're 5-6 on it now. This tournament, it's their worst map, but showing more flexibility, showing more coordination. The potential rebuilding I was talking about, or maybe this team disbanding because they just never had good results. After tonight's match, you know, starting to feel the argument that this team definitely can pull something out if they can continue to improve like this.
Wonderful stuff here from the side of MVP. Got to be feeling pretty good, even though they know that they aren't going to be in the playoffs yet again. They know that they are going to have to be playing through the Trials tournament to retain their spot. They can walk away with a victory, knowing that they took down one of the favorites of this tournament. They have given 7 a lesser seed for the playoffs, giving them stiffer opposition, maybe shut them down very early on in their playoffs run.
Very much a great moment for MVP Space. Their only win of the season, perhaps as you mentioned, the only one they're ever going to get. And this was one of our biggest underdog matchups of the entire season. I mean, WGS is the next one that you're going to get, right? That 7 was able to win last week. This one we thought was going to be very similar, very much a one-sided 4-0 in favor of 7. Bazzi versus OneFact. How could OneFact ever win? Those kind of statements were the statements that we were making, you know, preparing for this best of 4. And we saw Bazzi underperform. We saw OneFact play well, play around the Widow, run the Tracer, run the Reaper, showing a larger hero pool than he ever has. The coordination from Oberon looked better today, not perfect by any means. And as you mentioned, you know, an underperforming 7, perhaps not respecting MVP Space as they should have. Here's their winning sign today. It says 7, let's go to victory. Sign 1, but statement false here.
Yeah, that one didn't work out so well, but got your Bastion here. I guess maybe, is it his dance? I'm actually not even sure.
I'm not sure.
I don't think he skips a rope at all in the game. Maybe it's just his dance emote. It's hard to tell sometimes here. Again, I'm not much of a Bastion expert.
Yeah, you and I stick away from the Bastions as much as we can. But hey, OneFact, he's played some Bastions. Fitting hero that we put up here. Yep. You know, that was his kind of unusual hero pick back in the day. Has not found much time to play it these days, but still coming up with that win tonight. Yep. Big upset.
Wonderful. I think that honestly, OneFact probably is going to be the MVP here today. It's the first MVP interview for the team. MVP is always confusing, but I think that OneFact kind of earned that, stepping up to Bazzi's Widowmaker, taking him down, showing that deep hero pool. I think that he's likely going to be the one that we get to hear from, but I mean, you could go ahead and honestly offer up a couple different people. Even
Undyne was great tonight, too.
Yaki was playing great. Undyne and Fuse both played wonderfully. Oberon was, you know, a bit better. It was a bit more consistent from him, but I think, yeah, either of those guys probably going to be a very nice choice. And it was very strange to not see Tidala or QOQ come through, but it worked out in the end for MVP.
All right, let's jump into our MVP interview. So Yaki will be crowned MVP tonight. Tonight you won your first series against Seth. How do you feel tonight? Tell us how you feel. You're able to win against 7.
네, 알겠습니다.
And actually, you guys should expect more from us.
사실 2세트 할리우드 전장에서 배치의 위도우를 계속해서 끊어주셨어요.
You were actually able to kill Bazzi's Widowmaker several times
이런
with
자유로운
Tracer.
트레이서 플레이가 가능한.
So what's your secret to playing Tracer well?
그냥 노력인 것 같아요. 그냥 그리고 팀원의 합.
팀워크와 노력.
I tried my best, but I think it's really about the teamwork.
또 3세트를 내주면서 사실 중간에 좀 감전의 빌미를
You
제공할
lost
뻔도
the
했었는데.
Hanamura map, so what was the reason why you guys struggled there?
제가 좀 못했어요.
아닙니다.
I actually just kind of messed up there. It's my bad.
가진 가능성을 그래도 다시 한번 확인할 수 있는 그런 경기였던 것 같습니다.
So we were able to see the possibilities for future of MVP space today.
네, 그래도 팬 여러분께 마지막으로 한마디 부탁드릴게요.
Anything you want to say to the fans?
경기할 때 와주시는 팬분들께 너무
Thanks
감사하고
for all the fans who always come down when we're
항상
playing.
응원해주시는 팬분들께 감사드립니다. 정말 감사드립니다.
Thanking those who continue to cheer for them and support the team.
못 불러드려서 너무 죄송해요. 네, 이제 이벤트 타임인데.
Big thanks to those guys. Stick it through, thick and thin.
Now we're gonna do
MVP.
Yeah, he's gonna do the T-shirt now.
It's
like a Soldier 76 T-shirt.
I'll take it. Can I raise my hand?
Yeah.
Can I ask for it?
Maybe if you get on camera, he'll give it to you.
I'm on camera all the time on this broadcast. Come on. Let's do this.
Who's gonna get it?
Hit me up.
Oh,
I'm
she
over here.
wants it on the left side.
Look to the right.
No, she's like, everyone else is like hiding.
No, not that girl.
Gotta give it to the girl on the left.
Hey!
Come on, Yaki.
Okay.
Ask him a question.
It's like interviewing her real quick. Like, how about if you just do like a dance for the camera? Oh, that's literally what he said.
Wow. Good call.
It's like, all right, now.
He's like, nah.
Can you be that dance? She's like, no, just give it to her, please. Oh, it's not worth it.
All right, well there you have it. That was an interesting moment there. Did you feel the essence of Sombra in that camera shot?
Yeah, a little bit. I was expecting her to just like pop up. Just hacked Euban. Our host just got hacked.
Is Euban actually like Sombra in reality?
Maybe. I'm not really sure, but that was bizarre. Either way, that's our first series gone. Definitely not what I would have anticipated. Still a 4-map set. Not able to get that reverse sweep there. We're 7, but MVP, they finally get a win. But we have one more match here for today, for this week. Meta versus Meta. It's going to be Bellum taking on Athena in our next match. A sister team clash. You guys don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a bit with that match.